This Wordle.
I just started it during like 2 commercial breaks ago.
And I have 3 letters. That's the.
So do I.
In the right place, I'm saying.
So do I, and it doesn't make any sense.
It's a different language today, I think.
Yes.
I have tried. It almost reads like the surname of a hockey player. That's like from a different. Have you done it?
I can't wait to try it now. I haven't yet, but you guys are
it's infuriating today. Infuriating.
I kind of just want to have my last 2 guesses be wrong. I might
just so you can see what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm furious.
I haven't not solved one yet.
There's 2 that I haven't.
And so that part's really eating at.
But I did start before you did.
No, you've been doing it for how many have you done?
It lost the tracker. Like mine goes every day. Mine says like 1 of 1. Like you've solved.
Really?
Yeah. Like there are
I've
a
done
lot
like
of people
18 or something.
Right. That have like you've solved 63 of 65.
Yeah.
Mine says 1 of 1 every day.
Is it a race every day?
Yeah.
Are you in like a private browser? Do you know on your phone?
Bro, I don't even know how to.
He doesn't even know what browser he's. I mean, come on.
I just know
because I know that happens if you're on a private browser. That happens.
Yeah.
It erases.
I don't. Yeah.
Using the old incognito tab.
Yes.
I know what people use that for.
No idea. All I know is this. I see people that have like you've solved 132 of 137 or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Mine says 1 of 1 every day. Yeah, crazy.
Well, the word sucks today. Whatever it is, it's making
terrible.
All of us angry. So,
for sure.
Happy Tuesday. You want to get angry? Maybe a sort of bridge quarterback situation would make you angry. It is the Fan Morning Show presented to you by Matt Mertz Plumbing, now part of the Armstrong Comfort Solutions family. I'll throw these names at you. Jameis Winston, Mitch Trubisky, Teddy Bridgewater, and you tell me. You can even call, text the Edgar Snyder & Associates fan text line, 412-928-9370, or call. We'll take your calls as well. Which of these 3, if I'm putting it to you that it's only these 3, because these are the 3 that people are starting to say the Steelers have shown some kind of interest in.
Right.
With free agency still a couple of weeks away. Which of those 3 do you prefer? Just rank them. Jameis, Trubisky, Bridgewater.
Actually, for as much as he throws it to the other team, I think Jameis could – and let me preface this with I don't want a bridge quarterback.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
I think they already have a bridge quarterback, or bridge quarterback, excuse me. And if Mason Rudolph stinks, he stinks. Okay, then you draft somebody. If he's okay, then you tinker with maybe moving into the future with him. If the proposition in front of me is one of these 3 quarterbacks, and it's crazy how the Steeler quarterback situation has become such a national story with so many people. Even though he throws it to the other team so much, I would go with Jameis because I do think that his size and what he does and his ability to move just a little bit, his ability to throw the ball on the run, not a running quarterback, but he could throw it out of the pocket. Some will see how he comes back from the injury. But I think it kind of fits. It kind of fits what Matt Canada does. I don't mind it. And I think he was off to a pretty darn good start.
I think a lot of the same things you just said about maybe not the arm strength, a lot of the same things you just said about Jameis, we could probably say up to and including he got off to a good start last year about Bridgewater as well. Still a little bit of mobility left in there. Still, I think more of a game manager than a big-armed gunslinger than Jameis. He did that last year in Denver. That's why he'd be, if we're limiting it to those 3, he'd be at the top of my list. I do come back around, though, to that question that I asked Brad Spielberger an hour ago.
Is it unfair that I always look at Teddy Bridgewater as a little bit smaller and a guy that got hurt when, like, no one was within 5 yards of him? And I wonder if he's ever been the same since.
I think it's fair to wonder if he's been the same since the Achilles.
Right.
But I don't look at him. I don't look at him any different than I do any other sort of mid-tier game manager quarterback, which is what he is.
Do people realize that Teddy Bridgewater's older than Jameis Winston? That's
probably
wild
not.
to me.
Probably not.
I think how
old's Jameis now?
28. I think Bridgewater's like 29 or 30.
29. Yeah, 29. Yeah, so they're about a year and a half apart probably.
But I think a lot of people think Bridgewater's 1 or 2 years younger than Jameis Winston.
Just because Winston's been in your line of sight watching football since he was, a sophomore in college. I do come back, though, to wondering about this, and I brought it up with Brad Spielberger an hour ago. You can always rewind, go back to Brad's segment with us at 8 o'clock. Which of these guys is going to be willing to come in under the pretense of, hey, we're going to give you a chance to compete for the job, right? You win the job, it's yours. You lose the job, you're backing up Mason Rudolph. Like, again, and I'm one of the more optimistic people on Mason Rudolph in this town. But none of those guys, maybe Trubisky. I can't imagine Bridgewater or especially Winston. Again, given the way he started last year, and again, Bridgewater, the way he played last year before the concussions, that either one of those guys is willing to go to a place where if they lose the quarterback battle.
Oh, yeah. The agent for all three of those guys are going to say, if they don't win and they're not the starter opening day,
let them go.
Let them go. If they're not your QB1, then don't let them leave Latrobe.
Which really defeats the purpose in my mind of bringing them in.
I agree, man.
Because if you bring one of these guys in, you've got to sell them on the fact that they are here to sharpen Rudolph and Haskins and whoever the starter may be, and maybe help a rookie as well. I mean, they're here for multiple they're almost like a coach in
Doesn't
effect.
this go to show you how badly Cleveland effed up their quarterback situation? Because they had that guy that so many people in the NFL want and crave in Case Keenum.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of had that guy.
Solid backup, can step in, can sharpen your starter, can
More
bring
than
along a young guy.
Yeah, they had a really good quarterback
Keenum
situation.
went to the playoffs.
Right.
Yeah. Went to a champion.
They should have put him in the game,
round?
right? Like around week, 9 or 10 or whatever at times. Even if it was just to sharpen or light a fire under Baker Mayfield. They had not a great, but they had a pretty darn good quarterback situation, and they let one guy who stunk screw it all up. Maybe not stunk. That's too hard of a word on Baker Mayfield, but they had those two quarterbacks that not necessarily were interchangeable, but they could have gone to the bullpen. Yeah. And they were loath to do it.
And I don't understand why, given how ineffective Mayfield was. Because in essence, what you're saying is
what you're describing, though. I think the Steelers could have, but none of those guys are going to sign up for that role.
I think Trubisky could,
because he doesn't have another option.
Right, but with all the buzz, like Spielberger said an hour ago, with all the buzz about him possibly getting an opportunity to battle for a job. Again, I think he's a guy who, if he doesn't win, I don't see, for example, the quarterback hierarchy in Pittsburgh this fall being Rudolph, Trubisky, Haskins.
Right. Well, do you mothball Ryan Fitzpatrick?
No. I got no interest in that. I mean,
because if you want a Keenum-type situation, I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, how old is Fitzpatrick now? He's like 52?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. And what kind of condition is he in coming off that injury?
But if you want what you're describing as a depth chart,
yeah,
then that's the kind of guy that you say, hey, Bruce Krakowski, stand over here. Charlie Batch, if something crazy happens, we know you take a couple reps and you're going to get in there. And what you are in the pickup basketball game, you are the guy with 2 knee braces that's going to play no defense, that's not even going to go on that side of the floor. You're going to stand outside the 3-point line. There's all these young guys going up and down. You're that old head in the pickup basketball game. We're going to reverse the ball, and you're going to knock down 17-foot jumpers. Yep. And you're not even going to run up and down the floor. There's that old head in every pickup basketball game with these bionic knee braces that have this metal hanging from them. He's got it, and he smells like Ben Gay. That's maybe what they need.
And he goes 10 of 12 from the field.
From the field,
it drills them.
Right, and he's
never touches rim.
I'm not guarding anybody. Just so you guys know, I'm not defending anybody. But I'm going to stand there, and I'm going to be ready to catch it. And if I catch it and I'm not open, I'm just going to reverse the ball again.
But see, that's why the only one of these three that makes sense in that regard is Bridgewater. Winston is not a guy I want. Like, if you're looking for a guy who's going to be the iron sharpens iron, or I guess in this case, I don't know, stainless steel sharpens stainless steel, whatever the heck metal we want to use as the analogy. The guy who keeps your Rudolph and Haskins sharp, right? Pushes them a little bit via competition, but is also able to maybe offer some tutelage to a draft, a second-day draft pick. If that's the guy you're looking for, I don't want Jameis Winston bringing along one of my young quarterbacks, teaching him to eat W's and throw 30 picks a year. I don't want Mitch Trubisky coming along. No, Mitch Trubisky wants his own job. Teddy Bridgewater is the guy, almost 30 now. He'll be 30 by the time the season kicks off, or close to 30 by the time the season kicks off, who challenges Rudolph and Haskins to actually be better and can take over the job if neither one of those guys can, but can also bring the young guy along if you do end up drafting a quarterback.
Yeah, if Jameis Winston is brought here, he's brought here to play. He's not brought here to be that guy.
He's brought here to throw 25 interceptions. Oy.
There is so much wasted talk, and we're guilty of it. This all was talked out, because you have to. Because it is a topic. It's a gigantic one. It's going to land on, and when it goes through the sifter and through the roulette wheel and everything else, right back where it started.
Do you really think there's no chance that they don't add, like, I think they add one or the other. I think they either add a veteran free agent or
they're not
draft
going to draft
somebody.
a quarterback. I think if they draft a quarterback, they might draft one in like the third or fourth round again.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying they're drafting a quarterback in the first round. I really believe that they've come back down to earth, unlike other teams who were drafting in the top 20, and understand that there aren't any first round quarterbacks.
You know,
in this
like
draft.
how Doug said that guy from Brown that was at BC, like they might draft him in like the 5th round or 6th round.
I mean, it's going to be 4 quarterbacks in camp, though. I really believe that there will be a veteran and or a rookie, and then Rudolph and Haskins.
I think that the veteran, though, will be someone that couldn't play in the PSL, the Pittsburgh Sports League, that plays at that field next to Church Brew Works.
Mike White from the Jets.
It'll be someone that is terrible. Just terrible.
What's the point then?
To rest somebody's arm in camp and just get receivers some balls thrown to
the old camp arm.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Call us, text us. Edgar Snyder and Associates fan text line is 412-928.